Hello everyone, welcome to the Brewer Market podcast. I'm your host Rakshit, and today we have a very special guest. She's one of the most creative and fun people I know. She is my favorite travel creator and she's my colleague. None other than Aanvi!
Hey, what's up, Rakshit?
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. We're in Gurgaon. I love this background.
He's made me wake up early for this, so I'm not very happy. Where's my coffee? So set पे ये सब चाहिए. Coffee दादा के.
Order करूँगा मैं अभी थोड़ी देर में.
Yeah, cookies and coffee and all.
ठीक है. और कुछ?
Where's my makeup artist? I look very sleepy.
Green screen. हाँ नहीं, green room भी चाहिए ना. हाँ.
Yeah.
We'll arrange all that. अभी we're just very new to this scene. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
So. This Brew Your Market is basically where we interview people who are big in the marketing business industry and even content space.
Okay.
And you get to know more about them, their journey and everything. So I figured you would be the best person to talk to about travel creation, and your journey has been really weird, right? You're from finance, CA and everything, and you got into travel. So what's your story? How did your journey begin?
So it's very So I always thought that the first time I would be giving an interview, there would be crores of people. I'll tie up with a brand and then I'll share my journey, because in 6 years since I've started, people are like, why don't you put it up on YouTube? And I said, yeah, coming soon on YouTube, coming soon. And then when you asked me, I was like, oh, should I do this or should I not? And and then I was like, you know what, let's just do it. How does it matter? Maybe we'll do it at a bigger scale next time when I talk about my journey in detail. So how did it start? It's as cliche. I was studying for my CA and I used to really go out and click photos on Snapchat and post it over there, and a couple of friends were like, why are you doing it on Snapchat? Why don't you start your page, etc. And I was like, okay, fine. Will people even follow, reach? And then I started posting, and if you see my pictures, they're very bad. From that time, they're those saturated, high level, and I used to click with a Sony phone. But yeah, that's about it. And then
when was this? How long?
7 years back.
7 years back. Okay, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I feel ancient, and I feel the growth has been so slow. When I see these people killing it in a year with 300k and all, and I'm like, okay. And people are like, oh, you've done well, and I said, no, I've not done well. I've been quite slow with the growth and everything, and I can't do those dances, but I really want to. It's quite cool, how do they do it with those steps and all. But that's been this. And then I was studying for CA, and then I was like, okay, so should I give this up or should I do it? And then I thought, okay, why not do it? Why not give it a shot and just do this, keep doing this. And there was a year during COVID when from travel I switched to food, because no one was traveling. What do you really do? And I was stuck on 30,000 followers throughout the whole year, and I was like, okay, should I just give up? And I really thought I should. And plus it's a very heavy investment based this thing, it's travel, creating videos like this, talking and all. I really like doing them because they're easy, they're quick, everything. But when you're traveling, you're really going,
you're
and
exhausted, also
very
right?
exhausted, very expensive.
So I was physically and mentally taxing.
So I'm like, okay, do I want to really even continue with this? And I was like, let me just give up. But then I was like, no, this is my passion. It's not it's my bread and butter. So let me just continue doing it. And I think taking a trip to Goa was a breakthrough for me.
Wow, what happened?
So basically I took a trip to Goa during the start, when the things had just opened, but things were still skeptical. So I was like, let me just go to Goa and work from there. So I went there for 15 days, did north and south, and then I started putting up reels, and Goa being such a universal destination in India, it really got that traction. And I was ensuring that the information is very detailed, how I as a reader would like it. The whole purpose was, I don't want a person to Google, I just want them to come to my page and just see it, and that really helped. And from there it's been fine, but nothing viral, 20 million views or even 130 million I saw. So yeah, nothing viral, but quite good.
But then why did you want to get into the traveling and lifestyle content space? How did that happen?
I always loved traveling. So when we were kids, we would have this rule that every Sunday we go to a new restaurant in Mumbai. in the evening, because like as Gujaratis we have this thing that Sunday sham ko ghar pe khana nahi, like there is no food which is made, so we would go to a restaurant and then we would take these trips, and it was always traveling in like that's how traveling actually started. And at the end the goal was always travel, though I started with food because food was easier to do while I was studying for CA, while I was working. It's easier to go to a restaurant, but like going to travel is quite difficult. But like pandemic has really, touch wood, and I really hope it continues, putting it out in the universe, the hybrid model has like really helped me manage both.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, like we were talking about this today itself, right? Like how hybrid ki wajah se like you can do so much.
I'm just saying, saving time on those coffee breaks and traveling to office. I used to take an hour by cab to reach office, to come back, and with the traveling I'm very exhausted. So all of that has really like saved up and like helped people do so much, I feel.
Awesome. And then like, so how did LinkedIn happen? Like, I mean, you were in CA, like you were a CA, you were in Deloitte and everything, and it's a completely different stream, right? Like right now, when we're working together.
Right.
So why did you want to move? Like, how did that finance and that consulting wali space say? Why did you want to? Like,
so
how did that happen?
I'll be super honest. So basically, I was looking for something creative. I was like, do I want to do this full time? No, because I genuinely think that financial independence and security for me is quite important. I come from a very normal family. I don't have any hereditary thing to look up to. So I really want to like make my base.
Yeah.
And also, secondly, I also had this goal that I really, I wanted to do something which is more like in relation to my field. Thirdly, I always felt I was a creative person. Like CA happened, but the end goal was always like, oh, MBA in marketing, or like lead a company, be a CEO, etc. So I just like, I'll tell you how I look at the career trajectory. It's in this way where I see that, like I've done, like I started my journey with 3 years of articleship in internal audit, which is like understanding every process of a company. How can it run better? How to have SOPs in place? What are the loopholes? What can we do better in every segment? Then I did valuations, which is like your financials, because I did not know how to like read financials, etc. earlier. Like of course with CA, you know the basics, but like in depth or like valuing a company. And I was like, okay, now marketing and like people and to socializing is left. Then Forbes 30 under 30. I'm putting it out. It's being overconfident. People will be like, "Kya bol rahe hain?"
No, it's not being overconfident.
No.
It's like,
it is.
It's about like putting it out there, like in the universe. You never know. Like, I mean.
So LinkedIn, I'll tell you, like, so I saw this thing, and so I actually, I had messaged Akansha Monga, who is also a travel creator. I if she's watching,
we did this in podcast with her as well. Yeah.
So so I was actually like texting her. I was like, listen, you know what? I want to really look for something in the creative field. Let me know if you have anything. I was also like actively looking on LinkedIn for jobs as people do, and I was very clear I did not want to work in that startup space where I'm working all day and do not have time for myself. Also, another factor for me was that I was like due for promotion at Deloitte, and I was giving that up. So I was like, at least I need to have a pay which is not like, I was okay to take a pay cut, but not like a crazy internship kind of a pay, right? Like I think that at 25 it's fine to do that, but I was not very keen on doing that because I was like, okay, I want to fund my travels, I want to do this, I don't want to take like money from parents or anything. And also the third thing was, I wanted it to be like a good company, like where I know that I'm secure. I don't know, like, and good work culture, good people, and that's where LinkedIn was. And fourth thing was, of course, the role, because if you actually see the job description, it's not very elaborate as to what we actually do in our day-to-day lives. It was very much like, oh, you should have analytical skills, and you will be like just like working with creators. It was a very brief thing of actually what we do. And and I was like, okay, this role is actually perfect. And I'm a creator, so I can understand what creators want.
The economy,
So I was like, okay, like this is exactly perfect. And the last reason was, I was like, okay, I am skipping my MBA for a couple of years, or I'm deferring it, or I don't even know if I'll actually do it. I have to build my network, and
Yeah.
like this was also like a very good opportunity, and I love talking.
Yeah.
Like I can be either, like I can be absolutely quiet, and I was like, okay, I don't want to talk, but like I
Yeah.
love talking, so I was like, okay, why not? Let's go for
It's
it.
fun. It's fun to like meet people, network, and like build
Yeah,
your
but, like-
connections.
Like
Yeah.
for some time, then you need.
Yeah. You need your space as well.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, ho gaya. Like today's socializing skills are done.
I know. I know the feeling. So okay, so content creation in itself is a very tough space, right? And like travel is even in a harder segment. So what has been your strategy, or like how have you, like what's been working for you so far?
So I'll be very honest, especially when you're working and when you scroll on Instagram. So you know, like you might be scrolling on Instagram as a person who's like, oh, this person's going to this place. Oh, this person, like it's nice to scroll.
Yeah.
So I have like 2 accounts. One is like this the Global Journal,
Uh-huh.
what you guys see on Instagram, which is all about you know, like travel and everything. And whenever even I'm scrolling,
Uh-huh.
it's all about like travel. So I'm like, okay, people are like 24/7 traveling, and like especially older people, they've already like developed these kind of savings, etc.,
Yeah.
where they can like do these 24/7 travel. Or even like youngsters who are just killing it, like Tanya or like
Yeah.
Akansha or like Radhika.
Yeah.
All of them are like doing such insanely amazing things. And you know, I see and I'm like, okay, my reach is not that great. I'm not getting those kind of comments. I'm not able to travel so much.
Yeah.
So am I doing like the right thing?
Yeah.
But what I try to do, like what my strategy would be, is to build that kind of audience which really is fond of me, and secondly to have that connect. So I ensure that, you know, once a while I reply to DMs, you know, I talk to them what's happening.
Yeah.
I try to build a connection. I think that's my only strategy.
Uh-huh.
Or else like everyone's putting out information, everyone's
Yeah.
doing everything well.
Yeah.
I can't even do transitions because it's so much thought here to there, and like to like have those
Yeah.
angles and
Yeah.
editing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's
So it's
my
like
strategy.
building a community, right?
Yeah,
You,
that
your
is my
community
key.
building. Wow.
Yeah, that's my key.
I mean, 140K of big community is like huge anyway. 1 lakh.
Yeah, but like, you know, I just feel like people, like I think I have to reach, I've still not cracked to reach the masses, because
Uh-huh.
I've seen certain like if you see Brinda Sharma, who is also like very, she has reached the masses. Her all comments, like she's got the support. I would not get comments on every post. My comments are quite low. My
Yeah.
reach is also quite low. They would like get comments on every post because they've reached that mass India where
Uh-huh.
people are like really fond of them. I have to like really, like that's going to be my target. Like I want to reach the masses.
Okay, what do you plan? Like, how are you planning to do that? Like, do you have anything in mind, or
So
Are you still figuring
yeah,
it
so
out?
while I want to establish myself in the luxury segment, and I'm very clear about that, like
Yeah.
that is what I love, and that is what I'm really good at, and maybe that would also set me apart, because I have these eye for details and aesthetics and like finding those kind of properties, and that's
Yeah.
something what I really love. Like I want to become a
Yeah.
property connoisseur if someday I
Wow.
get a job. But the thing is, like how I want to really like do those destinations firstly, like you know, like which are very Indian loved, like Masuri or things like Kashmir, you know, which like really bring the essence, and also try to give a lot of budget options.
So Indian majorly, or are you going like abroad as well, or like what? Since you
Are you
mentioned
funding? Is funding? Venture capitalists, please reach out to me, whoever are watching this.
Perfect.
No, but of course I do like, so as a normal person, I do like plan to have this goal that one abroad trip a year makes sense even for personal
Yeah.
goals. Like
Yeah.
I think utna travel fund hona chahiye. I think that's like also an investment.
Uh-huh.
But otherwise, yeah. So a lot Indian based, because with work I think that's possible. Like on the weekends
Makes
or
sense.
like holidays, etc.
Makes sense. So, what's your creative process? Like, I mean, like, how do you go about creating content on Instagram and LinkedIn, every other place? Yeah.
It's like both are like very extreme.
Uh-huh.
One can just be like, and even if people say this, like a lot of people have said this, but it actually works.
What?
The reel that you put the least effort in works the most.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. Like the reel which has taken me 5-10 minutes, where I've just put videos, like 2 videos, some audio, and it's gotten like so much in this reel where I put itna information, itna so much. It's like, oh, this is not working. I'm giving people so much time.
Wait, huh.
So yeah, it's either or. But like my creative process, I try to do like 2 things. The one is what the audience wants. Of course, like, they're requesting budget, they're requesting itinerary, they're requesting places. But the second thing is I really like making these aesthetic kind of a reel, which are like really moody, vibey, like POV, you're here, POV, you're seeing the sunset, or like you're on a drive, which might not get all those views, but I really think that I want to like look back at them like certain years back. So I try to balance it out with what people want and what I want.
What you want, right?
Because I really feel like that should not be something what I want to lose ever.
Lovely, yeah. I mean, it makes sense also, right? Like, I mean, you need to enjoy the process as well, because you're creating content. It shouldn't become like a task otherwise. If you're just doing it for clout, right, at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I know so many people who do that, and they're like, "Are yaar, abhi nahi karna na." Yeah. So, then, what? Okay, I have another question. Like, what goes into a perfect video? So you've been doing like videos, reels, and everything. What goes into a perfect video or a perfect content? Like, what do you define? Since you mentioned the content that you put least effort in does well, what do you mean?
Okay, so a perfect video, or what I've really seen with video, are like 2 things. Number 1 is that it has to be clean. You don't have to have expensive equipment. You don't need to have a team. You don't need to have anything. Like, you can actually just go onto like your phone app. Like Samsung would have something. Apple has iCloud. OnePlus has their own app. Like GoPro editing is a free app which is available. Example. Or like VN, which all are using. Just giving some apps down. It's as simple as that. But what's the thing is, it has to be clean. That's the goal. Like, whatever you're trying to say, you should just see that if I, as an audience, like after I'm done with the video, I ensure that, okay, I forget that I have made this. I'm just like looking at the video from a fresh perspective. And sometimes when I'm not sure, I'll actually like ask my sister, oh, what do you think of this? Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So I think what makes a good video is like, it has to be clean. Like, there should not be so much clutter and all. Whatever it is, like as basic as like just clean your camera lens before shooting and just hold it steady. That's it.
Perfect. Then, okay, so I see you're posting content every single day aajkal, na? Like, I mean, reels every day. Like, so how do you do that, especially with your working and everything? So how do you balance work and content creation? Like, what suggestions do you have for people as well?
So people have this myth that I'm always working. You've seen. Yesterday you were working, I was chilling. I take...
Watching Anupama.
This is not supposed to go here. But by the way, great questions. I need to take all these whenever I make my YouTube channel.
Done.
How many questions do you have still?
Very few, not much.
Great. So what I was continuing. So I take my like chill very seriously. I love my sleep, and even like weekends, chilling with friends where I'm like off everything. So what I really do is that, so you guys, so one bad thing about me or whatever, I don't read a lot of news, which I should. Like, you guys start your morning by reading, watching news. I do none of them. I would actually like try to edit a video, but now I'm like trying to do this work schedule where I start my work on time, like by 8:39 I try to like get my day, so that by 5:36 I'm like done with my day. So, and then I try to like go out, whatever, and at night before sleeping I'll just decide that, okay, this is the kind of content, like this is what I want to do tomorrow. I want to post. And so I earlier used to do like, sometimes on Saturday or something, that where I would sit and like plan, okay, what is in the coming week, how do the reels look like, or what kind of content will I be putting. But sometimes, usually on Saturday or Sunday, like Saturday usually it's either an unpacking, cleaning, helping at home, which if my mom is watching, she'll be like, kuch nahi karta. But actually I don't do, which is a bad thing. But or like you're just lazing because you've had such a long week. Like, our work is not like long hours, like we don't like burn, but our work is very, very intensive in terms of researching, talking, ensuring, and
yeah.
since we're always out there, we need to ensure everything like with a double check, like one mistake and it can like backfire because it's so public, and like since we're representing a platform which is so this thing, so we need to be, so our work is quite intensive. So on the weekend I try not to work, or like I actually switch to my personal account where I'm just like seeing people's lives, what are they up to, this person's getting engaged, this person's gotten a dog. I'm like, I don't even like log into like the local journal. I love going onto my personal account and like going to like Viral Bhayani's this thing, oh what is this Bollywood celebrity doing, oh Alia Bhatt is here today, like that. So I think what really works for me is night time before sleeping. That's the thing where I decide, okay, tomorrow is what I want to do. Because weekends I try to take the Sunday off, and sometimes even
you need that, right? Like I mean, you can't keep doing 7 days a week.
And Saturdays also sometimes I like try to plan my content, but also sometimes on Saturday, like because it's the weekend, I want to travel. I want to travel, right? Because tabhi milega time to travel. Because that is what will create content for me.
Correct. And so essentially like planning content and also building a routine is what you mentioned. Like I mean, you've started.
And also
like,
I think like the best ideas come to me in the shower.
I know.
Or like when you are like really forcing yourself to sleep, but like something's coming up. So what I try to do is I write it down in my like notes, like on iPhone, as simple, nothing like very complicated. So maybe later when I have like nothing's coming up, I have something to.
It makes sense. Like I mean, when I'm riding my vehicle, like I just take my vehicle sometimes. I go to a store also when I'm riding, when I'm in the traffic and I'm riding. I just zone out sometimes and I start thinking about work. I start thinking about content and everything. I get these ideas. I'm like, oh shit, I need to stop on the side and like make a note. I do that.
Like I don't ride. I want to learn the two-wheelers because Goa can turn really cheap if you want to ride. But like for me, Uber is like the best time to sleep. Though it's not very advisable. Share your location with somebody.
How do you do that? Like I mean, you mentioned that you don't sleep
today when we go.
No, but then you mentioned you don't sleep in the flight, but then you sleep in Uber.
Because it's quiet in the flight. There is so much noise, and I'm always jinxed with like kids who are crying, uncle who is snoring, and I'm usually taking like the window seat, so no one's coming out. But this is what
I just put some headphones and I like play some music and noise cancelling headphones.
I want to really order those.
Chill. Okay. So now let's talk about your content, right? Like I mean, what metrics do you assess like to see if a content did well or did not do well, and like what is some important metrics that people should check? Like what are some things that are important to you? I know it differs from person to person. What's important to you? What do you think like you check?
As cliche as it sounds, but the numbers do matter. That is your end game. It's like simple like a movie, right? At the end, it's what the box office says, what your public says. Sometimes you might think a content is good, but that is not in the eyes of the audience, and they have a valid reason for it. They are your true testament. Like for me, numbers matter. Like people say numbers don't matter.
What numbers?
Like so coming to your question, like content metrics for me would be like saves and the shares. Like those are the more than comments and likes, because a lot of times like even person like me, I don't like really sit and comment on people's because I don't have the time to do that. Okay, so less comments, less likes is fine, but for me it's, do I share it with somebody? Am I sharing it with a friend? Am I saving it? For me, those are the two most important content.
And you mentioned also, like you want your content to be like, you don't want people to Google it, you want them to come to your page.
Correct.
So that way saving would make more sense for you, right?
Absolutely.
So what are some metrics that you think like will help people go viral? Like I know you're also trying to figure that out, but like what is something that
130 million views. I really think, and I will say it again, the thing what you don't expect in viral will go viral. But the second thing is, what really works with the audience, or at least with travel, is something what people have not seen before. Like if you must have noticed, like Monish is a travel blogger whose Condom Cafe in Thailand like went really viral.
Wow, okay.
He got like 138 million, it might be at more, and like he was on every this thing. So I've not heard of Condom Cafe. Or Griva, who is like from Biba, she's also a great friend. That Vietnam, you've seen that boat which like goes like this, and it's something so cool and funny.
Yeah.
And I've not seen this, and I would really want to go.
Unique stuff.
Yeah,
right?
unique stuff. So something what people have not seen really goes viral, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday when we were having our event, like even one creator was telling us the same thing, right? Like, I mean, it was raining, he was in Mumbai, and he took a random video, he spoke like "Pani tapak raha hai yahan pe," and then he got like 6 million views. I was like, what? Like, bro, that's insane. Like, basic. He just took a reel wherever he goes, like
So
different.
the trick is to not think. Karte raho.
Karte raho.
And then, but if you see like a Brinda, like I try to talk about women because I'm very like this.
Yeah.
It's nothing like men don't. But Brinda, her every reel consistently crosses 1 million views.
Wow.
Consistently.
Is it because of the amount of followers that she has right now?
No, but even if you have so many followers, for consistently to get, like, even people with more following don't get it. Which is that she has made a certain type of reel which is loved by everyone.
Wow.
So now the trick is the audience exactly knows what to expect from it. Like, I'm going to get like a running Brinda reel where like she's in the mountains or having coffee or something, which I know, and like, people have developed that. But yeah, like for viral, I would say it's something different, unique, something very fun and easy. And I really think another type of content which really goes viral is relatable funny content.
Yeah.
Because I am going onto Instagram to actually like escape work.
Exactly.
And to just laugh it out. So I really feel like these people, like these Saurabh Gadge and everyone, like they create such crazy funny content, like what your bosses say at work and all, and it's just so like funny and nice.
I mean, that's how it is, right? Like, even when anybody goes to social media, it's just to like get out of this thing with that thing, like not think so much. So whenever you put, like, take Varun Maya for example, his content is doing well because although it's informational, but pairing up with these entertaining stuff, funny content and everything, it's like blowing up because people are like, oh shit, it's funny.
Sharan, like Neha, they are all like, even
Agar,
if they're distributing finance content, it's all funny. Or like Shreya also.
Yeah, and I see, like, I mean, like, this thing with a few creators who are also like, they're making informational content, and now they're like, I'm gonna buy a mustache. I'm gonna buy the fake mustache and start role playing. I like, go for it.
When I hopefully, like, when I start talking about my journey, I am going to be like, not trying to be humorous, but trying to keep it very chill and easy. I think that's the trick.
That'll be great, yeah. That'll be, I mean, people like to consume such content as well, right? That's why even in a podcast also, like, I like to add like these funny elements and like not make it very dry and like boring and like all these things.
Next time have alcohol and then make people drunk. Never have I ever.
Exactly. Brew your market, brew your own beer over here. We'll have like a keg over here or something.
Yeah, we'll get a brand to sponsor you.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay, please sponsor me. So, okay. So, since you mentioned about being financially independent, that's something that you're looking at. So, how can creators monetize and become financially independent? Like, what are the different avenues to do that, especially in your space? Like, what have you been doing? Like,
number one is, initially you don't own anything. It's like any business, any startup, you don't own. And if you're going with the purpose that, okay, I want to earn, that's great, but like be ensure that you have given yourself at least 2 years where in the worst come situation you'll not grow and you'll not own. Like, always think of the worst. Or if a platform doesn't work. So number one is, of course, like, you've got brand partnerships which happen, but that doesn't sustain you to like take your trips and everything, like unless you're like really big, because traveling is very expensive. Number two, I really think, is diversifying. Like, example, I, like, before joining LinkedIn, I used to like really take workshops and like take courses where I would like talk about reels, talk about my expertise, like whatever I'm telling you is actually paid.
Oh wow, okay.
Guys,
I'm flattered.
So like talk about all of that. So I think that really helps. And third is like having your own brand, like merchandise, like Tanya has started her merchandise, or like thrifting your clothes, just thinking of like businesses which you can do, because let's be honest, today you're relevant, tomorrow you're not going to be relevant. Like maybe the next generation doesn't relate to you.
Yeah.
So you have very little time to make it work. Like, though there are some exceptions, but I'm just being like,
I know. Yeah, makes sense. So merchandise courses, diversifying the avenues, and I mean, like, it takes time. Of course, it takes a lot of time, right? Yeah. So how long did it take for you? Like, I mean, when did you make your first buck via
very
content?
Late. I would say that's very late. It would be approximately after I crossed 100K would be like when it really like started like properly. Otherwise, earlier it used to be like one-off things, not very consistent is what I'm saying. Right now, so there is like there's a lot of inconsistency. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't get. But before that it was like very, very one-off.
Acha, 100K though.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. So, what are your goals with respect to creating content? Like, what do you want to achieve at the end of the day, long run?
I always say, so my goal is, of course, to be a creator and, of course, to travel and everything. But my end goal is to always have a business that's running itself, like be a CEO and be like, a leadership position, because I genuinely feel I'll be good at it.
Yeah.
Or like be an investor or something. But my end goal is to like really diversify in the terms of like right now I'm very Instagram focused. My end goal is that if I walk anywhere, people should just know about my work.
Yeah.
Like that is that. I don't want to become famous. I don't want to have anything. Like that's never the goal. I actually don't want to. But I just want that, yaar, she makes such good content. Like I just want like my content and my art to just like speak for itself. Like, oh, I have seen you in this and this has really helped me.
You want to be recognized for your content, for your art.
Yeah,
right?
and I want like everywhere, like newspapers, every show, everything. I just want to be there. Like how the Shehnaz Gill is everywhere. Like I know it might be a very this example, or in the travel space. If do you travel or like explorers, like they create amazing content, but like they're everywhere. So I just want to be like everywhere. I want to have this huge network around the world, be everywhere.
Love it, and I'm hopefully this is a start. So, like, what's this one major learning that you've had in your content creation journey so far?
It's very cliche, very preachy, but it's actually something what's really helped me is to not give up, because there will be too many bad days when you just feel like there are of course people, I'm not saying like who have consistently gotten like good response, good reach and everything, and I know so many of them who are like consistently killing it, or they've but everyone has some like lows, or like where you're questioning, where you don't know if you want to do it, or if it's worth it, and or like there are like comments which are not so nice or something of that sort. I just feel like always like your previous question is very much interlinked to this. Look at the bigger picture. What's your goal?
Yeah, as you mentioned, right, like when you were at one point when you were getting those 30K, when you were stuck in the 30K, you felt like giving up, but then you did not, because you were like, and
also you need to love it. Like I don't think that if you're purely looking at it as a business with no passion,
exactly,
it's very difficult.
Exactly. So like this brewer market itself, I've been trying to like do it for a very long time, but it's been on off because I did not have the time and everything. And now like doing these things, although like I mean, if I did not enjoy doing this, it would have been very tough.
And I also think it's a lot of like personal learning. Like I might not have reached those numbers. I am very much behind. Like some random person, like a relative or someone, was like, oh, you saw this. Or like yesterday where we met, people were like, oh, you. I know in Instagram I'm nothing. Like people now 500K, 1 million. So many of them.
I know one creator, like within 6 months they went from 0 to 1 million.
That's what I'm saying.
That's because of reels and all that.
Exactly. So that's what I feel like. I'm not doing great stuff. But I'm not being modest, I'm just being very realistic. But I also feel like in these 7 years, I have met such wonderful people and I have grown as a person. Like, I've become so independent, and I really think that, like, it really blows up your mind. Like, example, like you doing this podcast, like I want to actually learn from you, like how you do a podcast. Example, just
no, makes sense. Yeah, that's what I'm also trying to do. Like, even if I don't blow up or even if
Yeah.
this doesn't happen that great, at least I'll get to meet a lot of people, like talk to them, build my network this way, get to know them better. Like, I got to know you better, I'm getting to know so many other people better, and like also like just build your network, right? Like, connect, as you mentioned.
And also something, I just feel like these pieces of content are always relevant. Like, even if I look at them at 20 years down, I do not know if we'll be having videos or videos will be extinct and we'll be like, there's metaverse which is happening. But whatever it is, I
People
like,
would love to know more about like these such conversations, right? Like, I mean, oh fuck, 2022 में ऐसा होता था and ऐसे पैसे बनाते थे लोग.
ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि तभी when I'm old I'm turning viral. I don't want that. Nothing of that. नहीं चाहिए. अब भी
You're become the
चाहिए.
KFC वाला
अब
this
भी
thing?
चाहिए.
Colonel.
No, अब भी चाहिए. Like, that's the worst. Like, when people die,
Bukowski.
yeah, like that. All that I don't like.
Yeah. So, okay, like, so since you mentioned you work on food and travel and lifestyle and all these things, and how do you manage health and like even mentally and physically, like how do you manage health while doing this? It must be physically taxing and also mentally also taxing, right?
Firstly, I need to say I'm very impressed with your questions. Like, it's beautiful. I want to steal all of them. Like, very nicely curated, like touching a lot of different points and everything. So, like, kudos. So, in terms of that's a goal for 2023 now, not even 2022. I'm very unfit. I get tired.
Come on,
of-
everybody says, like, I mean, you've saying that like kal, like during the interview,
1
like,
minute.
meeting, everyone are like,
Every looking and feeling is very different thing. Like, that's the biggest myth what people have.
okay,
I have put on 6 kgs. I was 54. Now I am 61. So that's 7 kgs. So that's not being fit. My mom is 54 kgs, by the way.
okay,
And she's taller and she's much more stunning and she eats healthy. Because like I'm traveling, okay, you have options everywhere to eat healthy.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'll be very clear.
Yeah.
So the pancakes for breakfast, you can't miss the pancakes and eat the vegetables. But
Noodles, dude, come on, today.
but like chicken and all, like being a vegetarian, I think it's even worse.
Was it
Because
a choice or was it like because of?
I've never eaten like in my life, like of course religion, but then it was never like religion or something. It was just like as a choice. I was like, no, I don't want to eat.
Acha, makes sense. Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to divulge more because there's these
I know.
controversies and conspiracies. To each one's own. Whatever
Yeah,
makes you happy.
Exactly.
I just don't.
Uh-huh.
I don't actually, and that's one thing. And I don't even because we're working from home and always on the phone, I don't even get down for a walk, which I really want to change. Like, we have got wellness points which we can reimburse.
Yeah.
I should genuinely use that for a gym membership. And genuinely, like, that's a goal. Because if you tell me, like, okay, trek, or like even today after, like, you'll see me after like shopping, I'll be dead tired. So that's something what I really want to build, like flexibility, stamina and fitness.
Perfect. Okay. So, who are the creators that inspire you, and like, what do you like most about their content and their work?
I told all of them.
Yeah,
so,
you do already mention Tanya, like
Akansha, Tanya, Radhika, Sharanya,
what about their content inspires you?
The most amusing thing to me is that how do they like really stay up? Like, they all survive on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, and another thing, they all are with so many equipments.
Yeah.
Like, they have a GoPro, they have a camera, they have a phone, they're doing stories, they're doing YouTube. And for me, like, during traveling, I'm very exhausted. Like, after like Instagram, I'm done. I cannot like shoot horizontal videos and talk and like, even show all of that and shoot everything and that, and then they take backup of all that data. Then they also like, and they are also like, they don't have a huge team or something, they all do it a lot like by themselves. So it's very
Full-time creators, right?
Yes, but
Yeah.
even when they were not, like they all had jobs when they started
Yeah.
out, and they still used to manage. So I really like, or even like Larissa for that matter, like her aesthetics, her outfits are also like synced. So I really don't know how they do it. Very, very like fangirling with all of them.
Love it. So, okay, our last question. Any tips for budding creators? Like, what are some tips that you would like to give to budding creators?
Number one, find what gap are you filling in the audience. Like that's something what people just start. Don't start. Start with a strategy. That's something what no one says, but like always start with a strategy. Think, this we're always, and I think really this is why my corporate thing has really helped me. They always said that first do research. Have a blueprint.
Yeah.
Then there are two options. Is the blueprint viable or is it not?
Yeah.
And then you actually start. So always plan and then start. And a lot of times I think and then but a lot of times also what happens for budding creators is that you never know that this is going to be the road what you're going to be seeing.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times you just start making videos, like if you see Focused Indian and all of them, they just started making videos, but then like people connected and then they grow.
Yeah.
So yeah, that works a lot. But I think for budding creators, a lot of people, like even for LinkedIn when we talk to creators, is that people don't start. Like even right now, if you think that okay, you just have 90 subscribers, or if I think I have none on YouTube, so do I even do a video?
Yeah.
It's not gonna work. You have to start.
Exactly. Like, yeah, I mean, like, don't overthink it, but also don't, like, I mean, like, have some plan. Like, have some, like, know your target audience, know the type of
and
content,
have your
right?
like budget and everything. Like finance is also a huge deal.
Yeah.
Like ensure
Quality is important, right? Like, I mean,
Yeah.
at least some basic quality, like one at large scale, but at least some
No,
basic quality.
Yeah, and also like if you're putting in so much time, you're forgiving of something else. And I also like I know this might sound very motherly, or like my mother told me this and I told her like, what are you even saying? People are doing all this full time, but like getting a basic degree really helps.
Yeah.
Unless like you're like this crazy startup founder or everything,
Or you
the
have a lot of
life
money.
the life of this is quite limited. So I just feel like financial security in any form, even if you think that dropping out but like starting your own thing is going to like really give you that security, great, but just have a plan, because I genuinely feel it's super important in our day and time, and especially the kind of life what we want to live. That's it.
Perfect. Chalo.
Quite long.
So yeah, I mean it was quite long, but I had
I
a lot
spoke
of fun.
a lot,
Yeah,
I
know.
think.
I loved it. And I hope everybody listening had a great time as well, and they got to learn a lot from you. So
I don't know if they got to learn, but I just hope you can like relate a little
Yeah.
to me somewhere.
I know, relatable content, huh? I think so.
Huh.
So, okay, I mean, like, it was lovely having you today. We end with a game, but I forgot to get the game today. So,
It's okay, we have
Yeah.
to leave anyway.
Yes.
We've got a flight to catch, so before we get late,
alright.
this is super nice, and I actually had a blast. Like,
Uh-huh.
I because it was so candid and chill,
Yeah.
and it was like, yo, I am so happy. Like, this is like my first ever and something like this. So I feel very, oh my god, wow.
What are your closing thoughts? Like, where do people find you?
Follow me. Yeah, actually start me dalo, because what if people skip at 20 minutes? I'm kidding.
ठीक है.
Instagram @ the Global Journal, and LinkedIn @ AANVI
Aanvi.
Kamdar,
Yeah.
KMDAR. YouTube is also the Global Journal. I've got 100 subscribers.
Woo! Wow.
Just shut up. There's no 100 subscribers. My sister would have more. But just, yeah, I think, yeah, that's about it. Twitter pe bhi hu main.
Lovely.
Twitter pe it's only like reporting someone. Uber, you're taking so much of my money, not refunding me.
Oh man, lovely. And if you want to follow us, follow Brew Your Market.
please
like,
do.
Yes. Head to our page and like LinkedIn, everywhere. We are all Brew Your
Such
Market.
valuable, crazy content.
Yes.
And kya editing karte yaar.
Lovely. Okay, we'll see you in the next podcast. See you.
Bye.
Bye bye.